Hey guys, my name's Lindsay. This is my first ever YouTube video. Today I decided to try something new. Usually I have at least $120 worth of groceries in my house. As some of you may know, it's really not a lot. You don't really get as much as you used to back in the day. So I figured I would try and go through my pantry to try and make something up to get us through the rest of the week until payday, which is on Friday. Today is Wednesday, in case you didn't know. So I'm going to try and make some tomato soup from scratch using just what I have here. So in my Dutch oven, I have 4 tablespoons of butter melting. And usually at this point I would add half an onion and some fresh garlic, which I don't have on hand at the moment. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some diced tomatoes and tomato juice. This is no salt added, no spices added. And then once I get these cooking for a bit, I am going to add some pepper, some garlic powder, some salt. I have some Italian seasoning freeze-dried that I would like to add also, and that is right here. So I'm just going to let these saute for a bit, and once I get that tinny kind of taste out with all the spices in there, I am going to add some bouillon cubes, probably with about 1.5 cups of water. Usually I'd like to use chicken stock for this, but like I said, we're running low. Payday's on Friday, so we're going to use what we can. And later on, I will be adding this alphabet pasta to try and make it just a little more fun. Okay, so as you can see, my tomatoes are pretty much at a hard boil at this point. So what I'm going to do is add about 1 tablespoon of salt, and I really love this finely ground sea salt. It's I just get it right at Market Basket. It's very inexpensive. I use it for everything, and it lasts for a long time. I'm also going to use some freshly ground peppercorn medley, which we all love here in the house, my daughter included. Some of those freeze-dried Italian herbs. I just find these in the produce section. They have all different kinds. They've got poultry seasoning, they have guacamole seasoning, they've got everything you can imagine. And then, because I don't have any fresh garlic, I am just going to use the garlic powder that I had in my pantry. Just a few good shakes will do. Not trying to overpower it, but we do love garlic in this house. So I'm just going to give that a stir. Let this probably boil up for just like another 30 seconds or so, and just turn the heat down. So right now, so I have an electric stove. I'm at 6. I'll probably just turn it down to 4 for now. See where that takes me. Once they're nice and soft, then I will, add in some water, add in some of my bouillon cubes. So I will see you back in a minute. Okay, so now that I have the water and the bouillon in there, and as you can see, it's not exactly boiling yet. So we just want it to be like a quick simmer. But once that happens, I will be putting my lid on, and just like this. Sorry, beginner. So once it starts simmering, I will turn it down to 2, put the lid on, and just let it simmer for, I don't know, at least half an hour. And at that time, we'll kind of see where it's at, if it's thick enough. I do have some flour in my pantry, so we could always make a slurry. But I am hoping that the pasta will help thicken it up. So, but before we add the pasta, there's another step. Okay, sorry about the noise in the background if you can hear it. My daughter loves watching Cookie Swirl C. Huge shout out to, Kristen Stepp and all those kinds of ladies. They've really inspired me to get cooking again. So that being said, this has been simmering, like I said before. I turned the heat down to low. This has been simmering for about 20 minutes now, and I'm going to take the lid off. And as you can see, it has reduced a bit. It smells amazing. So those spices really did the trick, even though we didn't have any onion or garlic, fresh onion or garlic to add in. It's still looking really good. Okay, so this tastes delicious. As you can see, it is still chunky. My food processor is, or my blender is all the way up here. I can't really reach it. Love my fiance. He is about 6 feet tall and always puts things up really high. So hold on a sec. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of chunkiness going on in here. I did leave some of the broth in the pan. It is still on low on 2. So I just used a slotted spoon to take most of the chunks out. I put a little bit of liquid in. I just kind of want to make this thick. So I'm hoping that just with a tiny bit of liquid and mostly chunky tomatoes, it will help thicken up the tomato soup without having to use a flour slurry. So I'm just going to go ahead and friggin' liquefy. Okay, looks pretty liquidy. Do be careful when you are trying to liquefy hot liquids. It should be, here at the max with hotness. Usually with hotter foods, when you're trying to blend them, they do expand. You don't want it to come shooting out the top. You don't want it to break the glass. So I'm going to take this, pour it back into this broth here, and I can already see that it is going to thicken the soup beautifully. So here we go. We're mixing, and look how thick and delicious that looks already. It looks like a bisque. Like I said, there's no cream, there's no milk, there's no stock. All I did was, just to reedify, chunky tomatoes in a can with some spices, about 2 cups of water and 2 bouillon cubes. And look how thick this is, guys. It is just pretty much almost perfect. I am going to let it simmer probably for another 15 minutes or so, just to make sure all those flavors are married together. If you don't have a blender, you can use a hand mixer if you've got one. You can leave it chunky if you like it chunky. You can do whatever works best for you and your family. And I did forget that I said I was going to put some alphabet soup pasta in here. So I'm putting 1/3 cup of alphabet soup pasta. I'm just going to sprinkle it on in. And, if this becomes too thick, I'll probably add a little more water. If you like it, more like a stew, that's totally fine. It may thicken up a little bit more with the starch from the pasta. But right now, this is looking perfect. And, on that note, I think I will add about 1/3 cup of spring water. So here I am. This is our tap. And this is our water. Going to just add that right in. Perfect. Okay, guys. Here is the soup. We started this about an hour ago. And when I tell you that this is flavorful, I am honestly really surprised. I always make my soups with plenty of garlic, fresh onion, carrot, celery, everything. This was my first time attempting homemade tomato soup, and the pasta is perfectly tender. The flavor, my daughter loves it, and she's used to the Campbell's tomato soup. She loves it. So, and I love it too, and I will be happy to take this to work tomorrow. Delicious. The flavor is incredible. I did end up adding about a teaspoon of sugar in here just to, balance out the acidity. Couldn't be more pleased. Okay, now that the soup is done, I kind of wanted to give you guys a tour of our fridge and how empty it is. So this right now is our fridge on a Wednesday, 2 days before payday. We do have, there's a little bit here. There's some leftover croissant rolls, water, shredded cheese sauce, breakfast for tomorrow. Lots of sauce. We do have an open wine here. I made a pot roast a couple nights ago, which that's completely gone. Freezer, there's some stuff here. We do have some kielbasi, some leftover sausage, but nothing really to make a meal out of. Some vegetables. We do have a venison roast, which, if anyone has a suggestion as to what to do with that, we really need to get rid of it. I did make some enchiladas about a month ago, froze them right after I made them, leftover bread and all that. That's empty to me. So this is for my breakfast tomorrow. Also, I made overnight oats. This is our kind of like bread everything cabinet. So, we have like some stuff, but again, not really a lot. And then I'd like to show you my living room pantry in this tiny little apartment. We tried to make it kind of neat. So up here, like we have our pastas and, our canned tomatoes, which gave me the idea today, just in case dinners with the ramen and the Knorrs. Leftover stuff. We love saving these, ketchup packets and things in case we ever run out of ketchup. I know it's a mess. This is my baking section. And then, all of our appliances down here. Candy from Christmas. You get it. So, yeah, we're kind of running on empty right now, but that soup was amazing. All right. So I just wanted to end this video, again, reiterating how if you are a stay-at-home parent or a working parent like I am, and you are just running out of ideas, you don't want to spend crazy money at the grocery store all the time, take a look at what you have in your pantry. If you don't yet have one, a good idea, just buy a couple things every grocery shopping trip, which is what I try to do most times. I said earlier in the video, we spend a lot of money on groceries. I'm trying to cut back on that. We are trying to get married this summer, and very excited about that, but we need to save some money. If you are a working professional like I am, I work as a medical assistant at a well-known hospital in New England, and it's freezing here right now. It's like 19 degrees here in New England, so tomato soup was right on the money. And, but that being said, along with traffic and working 8 to 5 every day, it's very hard to come home and want to cook a meal. So that was super easy. It took a little bit of time, but my daughter loved it. I loved it. There was plenty left over for, my partner and to take to work the next tomorrow, which I'm extremely happy about. And I will show you that I actually have another idea. We did have some crescent rolls in my refrigerator, so I will be doing a video with that. Maybe tomorrow, I don't really know. So again, if anyone has any questions or suggestions, like how I can do things better, maybe, like I said, I'm a beginner. All I really care about, I just want to let everyone know, whether you're a mom, a dad, single, married, no kids, whatever, if you're just looking for inspiration, just know that you can do it, and just be creative, be you, and just know that you're doing the best you can, and that's really all that matters. So, Happy New Year. I know it's a little bit late, but thank you.